Hi, I'm Sam Nordberg. Welcome to 52 Books in 52 Weeks. And this time I had just finished reading Little White Lies, which is this one here. It's a novel by Gemma Townley. Now, so in case you hadn't noticed, I've moved on to fiction for a bit. I spent the first 7 or 8 months of the year reading nonfiction and really getting caught up in some of the books that I've owned. As you can see on the shelf behind me, I was working through some of those. There are still some more on there probably that I should go back to, but for a bit I kind of just needed a break. And so what I had fallen across, without really meaning to start with, is just some really good sort of trashy fiction, I want to say. Some sci-fi, cross-dimensional, parallel universe kind of stuff, which is the audiobooks I've been listening to. And then the next two, which are paperback, are just good, trashy romance novels. It's been good. This one's a part comedy, part romance, and you know what? It's been a really good change of pace, partially because I enjoy reading them. So with the non-fiction stuff through the beginning of the year, some of it I was listening to because I felt I had to. So especially if I had the audiobook when I got in the car, I turned it on, but it was just hard going. If you're driving, but I'd do an hour drive home, often at 10 o'clock at night, and then listening to a non-fiction book discussing the pros and cons of marketing or leadership or something. It's really hard yards. Whereas with the fiction I've been listening to, I am actively looking forward to the next time I get to read the book or listen to the audio. I'm caught up in the story. I want to know what happens next. I'm looking forward to doing the next bit. So I've really enjoyed the shift from non-fiction to fiction. So this one, Little White Lies, as I said, is a romance/comedy. It's about a young girl who moves to London, who moves into an apartment that obviously where someone else used to live, and this someone else is still, all their mail is still arriving. And on a very bored and lonely night, she decides to open some of that mail. Now what happens then for the rest of the book is she takes on the persona of this person, because obviously this person she assumed had a much more interesting life. So suddenly she's playing the character of this person. She falls in love, but the guy thinks she's someone else. And of course it all comes to a culmination, which is a bit of a mess. You know what? It's just a lovely story. It's, again, and as with the stuff I've said before, it's not high-level literature. It's not Shakespeare, you know, it's not anything like that. But what it is just a lovely story. It's a story where you can see the trouble that she's digging herself into. It's a story where sometimes I'd almost cringe at the things she was going to have to do next to dig herself out of trouble, because I could just imagine what it would be like to have got yourself so far into what started as the book is called, a little white lie, that it's just growing around you, and the only way out is to have to tell the truth. And at some point you have to tell the guy you've been dating on and off that you're not who he thinks you are, and your name is not that, and everything else about you was a lie, despite the fact you actually really like him. So that's kind of how the story goes. I won't ruin it for you, but I'm sure you can imagine how it works out in the end. But it's just, you know what, it's just a really nice story to read. It didn't take me very long. I curled up on a couple of weekend days in the sunshine, because it's winter here, so the warm sunshine coming through the window. Now this one is very well loved, as you can see. I do tend to like to borrow books from a library that are well loved, because I like to see what everyone else is reading, so I'd see what's going on. And this one was the same. But yeah, worth a read. So if you find it out and about, this one's called Little White Lies by Gemma Townley, and it's well worth a read because it's just a good, fun book. That's it for this time, and as always, I will see you in the next video.